Okay, I've got the Stealth 2-zone hi-hat working with the strike module. I'm using the E-hat 2. That's the one that I'm working with right now on my other modules too. Alternative mode E-hat 2. It's a nice little controller that goes underneath the hi-hat stand pedal and works great. If it's an FSR type controller. I'll test some others with it, but this is working fine with it. I have it set up right now with my auxiliary hi-hat cymbals over here that are normally on my 2-box module. There's a reason for that. On some modules, many modules, my switch circuit has to be grounded, my edge switch. There's a ground wire that goes into this thing. And on some modules, it can't have that on it. And 2-box is one of those. There's a good thing about getting old, I guess, before Alzheimer's sets in anyway, is I've experienced so many different symptoms from different modules and things. I tested out the E-hat 2 and my hi-hat system the other day on the strike and got frustrated because I'm hearing cutouts and like electronic sounds or whatever that shouldn't be there. And I just unplugged and said, "Ah, the heck with it." And then kind of struck me. It's like, wow, hold on a second. I've heard that before. And 2-box is the same way because of the way their circuitry is, the way the hi-hat functions in the module. You can't have a ground where I have a ground for certain other modules. So it has to be different for the 2-box, and that is the case with the strike and my triggers also. So I'm glad that I had that experience before. Otherwise, it might have taken me a while to figure out what was going on. Anyway, I'll turn off the mic and just demo this system right now. I left the auxiliary hi-hat in, and I'm using the controller over here. Frankly, I don't really feel like tearing things down and putting a different type of trigger in my own hi-hat to test this thing out. I know it works. Matter of fact, I've tested it 2 years ago. I tested it. It worked fine. So anyway, here we go. This is how it works with my dual zone hi-hat, and we're using the E-hat 2 for the controller on this one. One other thing, when I'm on the kit page, I can uh, I can watch this. As soon as I hit the edge of the cymbal, I see the edges triggering on the picture, so everything's triggering just the way it should. So that's nice. It's good to have things go the way you planned them to go, which hasn't really been the case that much with the strike module. So my next big project, as I mentioned earlier, will be I'm going to work on a snare that is isolated between head and rim because the strike needs that isolation. I'm also going to demo how with a simple splitter, for instance, these two drums, we can take these two drums and split them on the snare input, and it splits perfectly. You've got the settings for the head piezo and the rim piezo completely independent settings, so you can set everything up to split pads perfectly. It's something that most strike owners probably already know. I haven't worked with the module much, but it makes it real easy to split any of the Piezo inputs. You can just use a common Hosa YPP-117 and split any of those inputs, and instead of having a tom and a tom rim, you know, have a tom and a cowbell. Usually get electric move on your kit. I'm going to demo out those to split also. Okay, so using the snare input with a common insert splitter, YPP-117 Hosa cable. We've got head and rim. This is head here, this is rim over here. Okay, so in this series of short videos that I've done with my stealth cymbals, my Stealthdrums, and so forth, with the strike module, I have my ISM 6 strike version snare set up here. I did some recipes. I modified my ISM 6 trigger system so it'll work great with the strike, with rim shots and everything. This is my 6 sensor system. We got 3 rim, 3 head, and it's a very sensitive system. It's my best of the best of my stealth trigger systems, in my opinion, anyway. Unless you need a center mount for positional sensing, like with Roland. But with this one, you don't have the hot spots, and you get just excellent response, head and rim. Everything gets picked up. So let me just do a quick demo of how this is working now. Okay, and last but not least, the kick performance with the strike.